Perspective on the DA's decision. Joining us now live in our studio is Hal Harlow, former Dane County DA, current criminal defense attorney at Murphy Desmond. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
What do you make of the decision and the evidence that Ozanne revealed today that compelled him not to file charges in the case?
Well, let me begin by saying, and echoing what we've heard other people say, this was the most inescapable observation about this, is that this was an absolute tragedy. A 19-year-old young man with great promise, had his life cut short. So you can't lose sight of that, and I don't think anyone has. I think that District Attorney Ozanne got it right. And I think he presented it in as good a way as he possibly could. I think this was one of his finer moments. He brought to it his personal experience. He gave, in the limited time he had, a careful legal analysis of it. And I think his conclusion is the correct one. I don't think, and this is based upon a fair amount of experience that I've had, both as a prosecutor and a defense attorney, I don't think that there was any possibility of a jury convicting the officer had he been charged. And it was because of some of the facts that District Attorney Ozanne outlined, and I can talk about this.
What are some of the facts? Because the people who may disagree with this decision, maybe that helps people understand.
Yeah, and I certainly respect people disagreeing with this. I mean, this is more than disquieting. I mean, this is a very significant event for the community, and I hope that we move from this, not to numbness, or that we view this as a challenge, and I think that process is beginning. But the kinds of things he outlined, there were calls that that Mr. Robinson was acting irrationally and violently. Calls from 3 separate sources that he had run into a car, that he had been hit from a car and got up, that he had attacked 2 or 3 people, that he was acting absolutely, not just irrationally, but with considerable violence. And one of the things that the family introduced to this, much to their credit early on, is that he was under the influence of drugs, and today we learned that at least one of the drugs was psilocybin. I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I suspect had this case gone to trial, or as it's discussed, you're going to be hearing this described as being, if not a drug-induced psychosis, pretty close to that. So that was the circumstance that officer faced. And it unfolded, as District Attorney Ozanne talked about, within seconds. There was no indication that the officer had acted with any malice, or that he had used particularly bad judgment. Ozanne talked very specifically about the officer hearing noise and hearing what appeared to be part of a discussion, or yelling,
disturbance,
indicating that there was another person present who might be in danger.
Hal, I appreciate it so much. We're running out of time, but you're going to stick around. We have a lot more to discuss. We'll see you back here for NBC 15 News at 6 for that. We'll be right back.